Hi, welcome to Sacred Synchronicity Circle, which is our last one for 2023. And I just wasn't sure who would have time to pop on today, but I'm sure glad that you did, either live or in the recording. But today is just an open circle. We talk about a lot of different things. You can see Allie's getting her treat. I am lined up on the coffee table, so and the door is open, so I think they can handle themselves for a little bit. But today's topic is alchemy and becoming an alchemist. And I was doing a little research about that to prepare for today. And of course, I consulted my chat GPT yesterday and got carried away. Next thing you know, I'm like putting different things in about spiritual alchemy and different things it said in there. So I'll share some of that with you. And but just be thinking about alchemy and just in a very simple form, where maybe you were an alchemist and didn't know it, or maybe you did. And you took a situation or something in your life that you wanted and turned it from something you didn't want into something you did want. That's what the alchemists do. They take metal and turn it into gold. So that'll be one of our topics today. But let's take a few minutes and just gather our energies together with a centering exercise. And if you would like to close your eyes, you can join me in that. And let's just take a deep breath and let that go. Let the world go by on its own today. Take a deep breath. Very nice. And as you continue to breathe on your own, just take a moment to center inside of yourself and feel the core of you, and just tune into that part. Sometimes in the hustle and bustle of our day, we forget to tune into our self, our inner self. So now's an opportunity to do that. And feel your feet grounded. It's easy to get off our feet and grounded with so much going on, pulling our attention and our energy. And this is an opportunity to do that as well. And maybe there was something that you wanted to come here and receive. Now's the time to think about that for just a moment. What brought you here today? Was there something that maybe you were looking for or hoping for that you would receive today? And just tune into that. Or set an intention. Today, I would like to. Here's my intention. And just think about what that intention might be. And in just one more second, we're going to step back into our call, and we'll do that with a deep, relaxing breath, and then go ahead and open your eyes and take that breath now. Okay, so people were in the waiting room. All right. And welcome everybody who's here. David, Kim, hi. I'm sorry I didn't let you in the room. We were doing our centering and my eyes were closed, but hopefully you felt some of that vibration rolling over to you. And our topic today is alchemy and being an alchemist. And with the holiday season, maybe there's something that you would like to turn from metal into gold, or your version of that. It could be a relationship situation with somebody you want to turn it from one way to a more golden way, or something you want to let go of. All of it and above. So let's just say hi to one another. I'd love to hear from you. And if anybody has a thought about alchemy, just come to mind. Please feel free to share it. Open forum today, no agenda, but I did do a little chat GPT on alchemy. So I'm going to have to share that. But who wants to share first?
I'm happy to, Jan. This is Peter.
Peter, the voice of Peter coming.
The voice of Peter.
No
yeah.
video of Peter. He said he was, in his underwear, so he couldn't put his video on.
Well, just think of me as a spiritual, what am I trying to say? Apparatus, whatever. Anyway, I literally had to look up alchemy, alchemist or whatever. I needed to get a refresher on what it was, and then I loved it. And so literally as of last night, to me, it's kind of coming out of my shell. I'm a, semi-programmer, and we all do things behind the scenes in trying to serve and make things better. But in my industry, sometimes due to all sorts of different reasons, we don't share maybe let's say code or scripts that we've done. We go do things that automate, but we don't share it with the team. Sometimes we don't share it with the employer. And I was thinking about, Chat GPT and AI, and the reason it's blowing up, as did the internet, is because they're sharing everything. They've opened every closet door. They've opened everything to potentially, on the good side, to try to help everyone. And so I just took that, and instead of I showed today something that I did to my team, probably a little bit of ego there, ooh, ah, or whatever. And that has failed me my entire career. So, looking for whatever. So what made me feel the best was not actually even doing the little project that I shared, but giving the entire team, including another team, all that I did, meaning I gave them the code, and I gave them a description of exactly what the code did. I told them exactly how to use it and how they could modify it to make it their own. That's not done a lot. Usually, a lot of times, time constraint more so than, people just coveting, their stuff. But anyway, that we could all be better at just opening up and sharing. And for me, the most exciting part was the sharing piece, not even writing the code, not even doing the project. It was doing something and then sharing it and opening it up to our entire, I want to say IT department, and saying, here you go. This little tool might help you, might not, have fun. Let me know if you need anything. And so, yeah, I know some people did enjoy it. They gave a few emojis. So that's me, I guess, growing and, trying to turn silver into gold.
Nice. So you were being an alchemist. You had an idea of something that could be improved on. You wrote the code, and then you produced it, and then you gave it away. That sounds pretty brilliant.
best feeling in my whole life. As a matter of fact, it kind of is a little bit of a life change. I'm like, oh, I see. Maybe the point of life is, give it away, give it away. I mean, look at the people who have done that in history, and it's come back to them, twofold, fourfold.
There you go. Beautiful. Thank you, Peter, getting us started today. So go put some clothes on and then put your video.
I'm such a programmer. Coffee and sand, right?
Okay, cool. Great. Well, somebody else, where have you been an alchemist, or anything goes, whatever you'd like to share?
I'll talk. So kind of on the lines of what Peter was saying too, is one of my intents when we were setting an intent to begin our meeting is I want to be more open at my traditional workplace in the medical office with the work that I do. I find that I'm very select with the people that that I feel safe with in sharing, and then not opening up to ones and taking the risk of oh gosh, what are they going to think, this type of thing. So it's being more open at work. Also, the other thing too that I realized with being an alchemist is that it is our words, that we are alchemists with our words, and our words change and transform, and our words can also destroy. So the power of the words is extremely important when we want to alchemize. I guess I don't know if that's a word or not, but change something, even if we're not speaking to a person, with speaking it out to the universe is extremely, extremely powerful and extremely important with choosing those words that we are trying to change things for.
That is actually, it was still trying to find the notes from chat. That was one of the things that Chat GPT listed.
That's because I was the chat.
You were the chat? Oh, that was you. Oh, got it. Okay.
I'm teasing.
Well, it did. It said, anyway, it said just what you said.
Okay.
Choosing your words and choosing them wisely to produce a better result, I guess you'd say. Beautiful. Okay, I think I found it. Anyway, go ahead. Somebody go ahead. I'm still kind of digging in my little list here, but somebody else share where you've been an alchemist or where you'd like to be.
I'll go. So interesting, my life, I'd say where I've been an alchemist is in body chemistry. So for whatever reason, this last period of life has had many friends in some serious health issues. And I've been on kind of a frontline support for a lot of this. And it got me inquiring. I've always been a person that is focused on my health, but has been really busy. So, I knew general things like I'm going to eat a lot of good, try and get some salads and things like that. But I've become deeply in the inquiry of what helps transform my particular chemistry into gold standard of health and wellness, because I'm called to be in a supportive role many times in people's physical, mental, spiritual health, and including my husband having he's been under a lot of stress in selling his business coming up for the last few years. And he's having weird reactions of swelling that nobody can figure out. And So I am like in this, I feel like a scientist learning about, sorting through all that confusion in around how do we stay healthy. Some fundamentals I've always known: exercise, thinking, clearing out the gunk within. And now I'm refining on kind of that, the nutritional level of what are really the engine our body needs, and discovering that and having fun, and then helping do provide some valuable transformational knowledge for those who are in struggle and stress and some difficult suffering. So, as they ask, and I find them asking. So it's like, oh, okay. So to be an alchemist, I have to really become more of a scientist around this rather than some of the gut things that I've been following. So it's been a fun journey for me, and a very useful one for my family and this extended group of people that I've been called into be a supportive role. So that's what I'll say about alchemy on what's going on for me.
Yeah, that also hit on several other things. Because I asked, what are some practical applications? And some of the things you mentioned would be practical applications of alchemy. If we take this concept of alchemy and map it into a practical application. So some of the things you mentioned are definitely in there, like eating well, taking care of yourself, exercising, knowing that I've got to take care of me so that I can be there for the people that need me. And so that's
And I think one other piece, Jan, for me is cutting through all the chaos and confusion around that, and being able to, there's just simple, practical tools that are, people I think get overwhelmed by. It's like so much to sort through.
right.
So that's been fun, because it's like, okay, what are those things that are tried and true that tend to cross over most humans? So, because we're busy, and it can feel like, I know for me, I'm like, I can't deal with that. What a paleo. Da, 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 da. So anyway, I think part of being an alchemist is being able to find those little, what are those things that are tried and true that don't have to be overwhelming and chaotic.
Right.
So,
yeah. Yeah, I also heard in something you said, it just came to me, that remembering I am an alchemist, that I have experience, I have tools, I have wisdom, intuition, etc., about which one to use at this particular time. That was also kind of popped in my ear.
I'd like to go next because I kind of have a segue to that.
Okie doke.
I'm currently on a detox diet with a particular company that I was introduced to. I have a friend, Terry, who does soul breathing, and I've gone through her training for that. And she represents several companies, both of which she thinks highly of, and she is a registered pharmacist. But I was only on this product for 3 days, and my swelling that has been a problem forever in my legs and feet, the swelling is gone. I was just this morning, I'm like, I can wear regular socks again.
Wow.
I mean, that is just, and I have lost like more than 10 pounds.
Wow, Annie, that's
So, yeah, and
awesome.
it's like only 20 days.
Wow.
But of course, I
Congratulations.
did have to quit some of those things I was eating, but it hasn't really hurt me very much. I'm not 100% everything that I'm not supposed to eat, but that's okay. It's still working for me. So.
Congratulations. That's definitely alchemy, isn't it? When you
Yes,
transform
it is.
your
Of
physical
course, I got
body.
it from my husband, who isn't using it, but I
And
am.
that transforms a lot of other aspects, when you start healing and releasing some of that from your body.
Yes.
Yes.
And my store, I've been dragging my feet a little, but I do have 39 products in my Etsy store. So
Oh, cool.
not too many customers. I got to promote it better, but thank you. Thank you. So that's what I've been doing.
Oh, congratulations. Very cool. David. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Yeah, it's good to see y'all. It's been a while since I've been able to make it. So I'm glad I'm here.
I'm glad you're here too.
That's, like, dang. Guess what I've been doing, it was, I didn't even, it's just hit me sitting there listening to everybody. It was 4 years ago, just about this time, that my wife of 36 years filed for divorce. And so I was like, I was 59 and a half, and my world got literally torn apart. We were together for 43 years, married for 36, and majority of it was really good. We stayed together probably 10 years, close to 10 years too long. We both knew it was over, but just stuck with that vow and raising a child at our age in the 50s was challenging. So what have I been doing for the last 4 years? I've been transforming my life. I was suicidal. I was heavy drinking. Oh my God. Doctor said I was knocking on the door of cirrhosis of the liver. I was 220 pounds, heading towards type 2 diabetes and extreme high blood pressure. And in March of that year, what was it? Anyway, 3.5 years ago, I quit drinking and started rebuilding my life. And blood pressure's normal. I didn't, no drugs, no meds, just totally changed my lifestyle and went back to doing the things that I quit doing. I put Tai Chi and Qigong back into my life, and doing meditation with the medicine wheel, sitting with the medicine wheel and basically taking accountability for my life. And my vow was to every morning to the Creator was to show up well for myself in every situation the day presented to me as it unfolded before me, and 3 steps beyond that into the unknown if need be. And that's how I changed my life. Just basically showing up well for myself. And once I did start doing that, amazing doors started opening up. I just went to Hawaii, took part in a leadership training with Ken Honda and his group and one of his seminars. And coming out of the seminar, part of the thing of the seminar is he asked us to find a verb, your verb for 2024, instead of a noun. And my verb was transformation. So it's perfect for what you're talking about. And I thought that verb fits me really well, because that's what I want to do is help other people transform their lives that have gone through the same, reinventing their life at whatever stage, whether it's helping youth, those transition phases. A lot of the youth, they don't, in our modern culture, we don't know what we're supposed to be transitioning into, and what, those rites of passage, no matter what, time we're in. So for me at 63 and a half, according to the medicine wheel, I'm heading into the sunset of my life. I need to be aware of that. And, that's the time when we need to step into, not retire. So a lot of our society thinks, oh, you're 62. What are you going to do? When are you going to retire? It's not about retiring. It's that transition. You transition to becoming mentor for the younger generations and being of service to So my, I guess my recipe for alchemy is one, train diligently every day, for tomorrow may be too late, which is kind of what we're hearing with some of the people. Then integrate those practices, because if we don't integrate our learning, what's the point? And then ethically upgrade, check in every day. Am I ethically upgrading as I integrate? And then the fourth one is being of service. So that's my recipe for how I got from where I was 4 years ago to where I'm at now. So it's amazing.
Say it again, the recipe.
You can think of it as pies. P
Okay.
is for practice.
Okay.
I is for integration. E is for ethically upgrade.
Mhm.
S is for service.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
So-
better than pumpkin pie.
That's right. So practice your pies every day.
Okay.
Eat your little slice of pie every day.
Eat your pie. Love it.
Yeah, so that's it. So,
Congratulations. What a journey you've been on. You know,
it has been a journey. It's been fun.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, I've been doing some
I
alchemy.
appreciate the help you've given me along the way too. So thank you.
Oh, David, you're welcome. It's equal. It's a win-win always. So, what's my alchemy? My alchemy has, well, I went snow skiing over Thanksgiving, which was a big alchemy from, I haven't skied in 13 years and terrified of a mountain and snow and cold. But you know, my face hurt at the end of the day because I smiled so much. So when I was going down, I just catch myself, oh, this is so fun. So I had a blast with it. I'm totally enrolled. Of course, Peter's an excellent skier, and he was great motivation for me to want to ski and be able to do that together. And consequently, talk about transformation. Our mountain here in Santa Fe had no snow. And then we got a big, they were making snow, I think, but then we had a really big snowstorm. And I think many of you have probably experienced it where you live. But the skiing was beautiful, and the snow was in the ski lodge in Santa Fe. I went up there with Peter on Friday. Just it's like a whole transformed area that you've gone to another universe, you know, because it looks different, you know, 30 minutes from town, but 30 minutes away can really be like a whole different universe. And that was very magical. So I'm opening there. Also in the process of now that I'm skiing, I want to be stronger. So I've signed up for a class here called Board 30. We use bands and balls and all sorts of things, core strengthening, get those legs and arms stronger. And so I didn't want to go this morning because we have our call, but I was like determined, since I want to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that I went. So I did. I made it, and I went today. So, and I feel, you know, yeah, I can do this. I can do this. So those are kind of my alchemy things, is thinking about places where I've said, no, I can't do that, or, you know, I have a reason why I can't do that, and saying, no, I can do that. You know, let's expand and go beyond where I've been. So that's been a lot of fun. What else? What else? Well, I want to share with you something that came up on the chat when I chatted about what I put in was spiritual alchemy, because I've been doing a class called Divine Blueprint. I didn't mention spiritual alchemy in the email, but I was like, what is that? How does that tie in? And some of the things you've shared about, I think, are practical applications. of spiritual alchemy. Let's see, what did they say? So some of the things they mentioned would be alchemy of transformation. So alchemy was, technically turning a base of something into gold or divine essence. You could look at it that way, but we could also look at how we transform our lives. What are we dealing with and how can we turn it into some other way? And each one of you have shared something where you are doing that. It's about transmutation of energy. Again, our thoughts affect our alchemy. Like, no, I'm not a skier. I can't ski. It's too cold. I blah, blah, blah. I'm too old, blah, blah, blah. Fill in the blank. All those, thoughts, by changing my thoughts, I'm like, yeah, I can ski. I'm strong. I'm able. I'm desiring to. All I have to do is now learn and expand and be strong enough to do it. And it also talked about the elements, earth, wind, air, earth, water, air, and fire, which I found was an interesting correlation to the 4 doorways of love, power, purpose, and intuition. And I was seeing how each one of the elements are in each one of the doorways. So that was kind of an interesting thing. So anyway, it goes on inner and outer alchemy. Well, this one kind of lit up for me, sacred geometry. I've always been kind of interested in sacred geometry because I follow the Mayan calendar, and I have for over 20 years, which is all sacred geometry. The whole Mayan calendar is about rituals and sequences of numbers, and it ties into the earth, how many, the moon cycles, etc. The natural laws of our universe are based on sacred geometry. And maybe you've encountered Gail and Gregory Hogue. They're all about teaching sacred geometry, and I bought something from them that I have on my desk. It's on a little stand that I take it home once again. I'll take it with, this is the stand that I have it on, and it's on my desk. Let's see if I can I just undo it. Nope. It wants to stay on there. Anyway, minus the stand, this is called a Metatron's cube. And so in The Alchemist, they mentioned sacred geometry, and I wanted to know more information on sacred geometry. And they mentioned the Metatron's cube. So the Metatron's cube is, here's what it says. It's a complex geometric figure made up of 13 circles, which are connected by straight lines. I mean, that's alchemy. This is turned circles and straight lines into a cube. It's associated with Archangel Metatron and believed to contain the building blocks of the universe. I've had this now for maybe 2 years. Did I know anything about it? No. But I do know that I had put it on this little stand so that it would, be at an angle. And I have it secured, the base. I stuck it under a lamp that's on my desk. So I was just sitting at my desk one day that I wasn't touching the desk. Nobody was touching the desk. And this starts just bouncing like this up and down. So anyway, it bounces. I don't know. I make that mean something, I'm woo-woo. So, but the Metatron cube is a symbol of protection, ward off negative energies, and promote spiritual well-being. And you can get one of these from Gail and Gregory Hogue. Gregory makes these, as well as some other things like this. But I picked the Metatron cube. It's also associated with energy healing and chakra balancing and grounding. So I used to have it hanging from my ceiling. And the little thing broke, but now it's on my desk. So that's just a little insight. You can play with Chat GPT to get educated on some things. And if you're interested to know more, you can look them up. I did a interview with them on Sacred Synchronicity, and it's on the website if you want to hear it. Amazing people, two of the most amazing people. So anyway, there's a lot, I guess the message being that there's tools that help us be better alchemists. And you know, they come to you at the right time. Like, remember Jan had on a necklace one day in a class we were taking, she was with me. And it was really just sending a big message. So you may have certain things that you already have that are calling for your attention. So practical applications can be things that you already have to use as tools for your alchemy, and as well as your mind and your imagination. So I would love to know, what are you going to, now that you're all official alchemist, how are you going to take that alchemy into the new year? And what are you looking forward to that maybe being an alchemist, now that you know you're an alchemist, that when you go into the new year, you're going to bring that and you're looking forward to transforming certain things in your life? Enhancing, transforming, deepening. Give you a minute to think about that.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind for me is yesterday I was talking to a woman who has ADHD, and she is just publishing a card deck about it. And I've known her and said, I need to talk to you. And finally I did. And because my husband was diagnosed this year with ADHD as well as atrial fib. And so he keeps saying, for years, that's, I didn't know it. And now I know that this happened, whatever. And I have not learned enough. And that's my goal, is buy her card deck. It's educational, learn more for myself. Perhaps I will be more compassionate than I've been about it. So learning more about how to continuing to work on relationships and prioritizing that family is important, because it's possible not to have them around.
Okay, Anne, that sounds like a powerful alchemist. Bringing new alchemy to your family is important, and friends. Beautiful.
I'll go next. For 2024, one of the things that I want to continue transforming and deepening is relationships, and relationships being friends and also family, intimate. I mean, so relationships with everything. And then the other is to joyfully be able to leave my traditional work and not go into 2025 with still the same thing that I'm doing medically. So that's what I want to transform for 2024.
Awesome. That's a big goal. I love it. You can do it. You can do it.
I'll go. Miss
Okay,
Peter.
thanks, Peter.
Yeah, just mending, healing relationships, one with my brother and one with my daughter, which in essence, we're all okay. I know that we all love each other, but possibly reaching out more or doing something like that. Yeah.
Okay. now that you're an alchemist,
Yes,
you can have different relationships.
absolutely.
Cool.
Thank you, Jen.
While y'all are thinking, I'll throw some out. Right before the Divine Blueprint class last week, I think it was the day before or the day of, I can't remember. I was out walking the doggy, and the dog park kind of tends to be a good inspirational spot for me. And I'm like, okay, I need a sign, like I need a sign what's next, for me or the class or whatever, what's next. In like a second later, like literally, as I finished that thought, I got a text. And I opened up the text, and it was from a friend, a new friend that I've just made this year. I've known her a long time, but I didn't see her. She lives in Santa Fe. And she was texting to say, hey, she had a little get together at her house that I went to a few weeks ago. She said, the lady that you met at my house is starting up a networking group and wanted to know if you would be interested. And I'm like, well, that's my answer. So I think what the message is for me to be more alchemist about is to be more of a business person than a play person. To open the door to be more engaged in business, not like maybe all the time, but more than I have been. And so that was a good sign for that. And I'm going to Mark Porteous's event in February. If anybody's interested, I'd love to see you there. That's good for me too, to be around some other people that are in like-minded, like-hearted places. And skiing, of course.
Well, I'll tag on that. Skiing has definitely been a big part of my transformational journey for decades. So going into the new year, my husband and I are definitely entering a new stage of life. He walked out of corporate finance to start on his own 33 years ago, and that chapter is coming to an end. And so I guess what came up is my goal as in alchemy is to be a very powerful alchemist, that I know I'm being called in a lot of areas. And I realize that the last decade has been filled with extreme amounts of challenges, that I have chosen to be on an alchemy path of transformation, body, mind, and spirit. So part of that was 3 years ago, really establishing a regular spiritual practice that is just boom, it's solid. Then it was like I had health indicators because I was under so much stress. Even though I was living healthy, I had to really up level that and become profoundly aware of what was happening internally and externally. So that had multidimensional layers. So that started about 3 years ago at an up level of where I had been, because I was like, And so I think that what I'm noticing is all of that gift of all that challenge and all that alchemical work is that I have an ability to be quite present in my life, and that I can hold peace through very turbulent waters overall. And I'm realizing that that's a gift that is needed in the world. And so I'm continuing as our lives free up and we have more time, and it's been happening. I'm honing those last pieces. I told my husband that is my gift in December, is the health gift to share with you and my family, and other loved ones, but it's continuing to hone that. And then what I'm finding is I'm very more tuned in and where I need to go and what I need to do. And part of that, Jan, I know for me, like I live in Colorado, it was almost 60 degrees with my husband. I said, let's get outside. And we did the most beautiful bike ride up the canyon. And it just, you talk about transformation. I can come in and support people at a very different level. And skiing is going to be a big part of my winter as I'm doing the other things. So just finding that knowledge or being able to hone my wisdom and then share it from a joyful place rather than a have-to place or, this is about me needing to be valuable in the world. It's a natural, joyful extension of my life rather than those other things that it used to be. Like, oh, that's cool. I got some cool stuff. No, or I have to earn my right to be. It's kind of like the intensity of the challenge kind of flattened all that out, yeah. Which has been my blessing in disguise in a huge way. And now I'm getting to see all the wisdom and the gifts and the pearls and the gold. And now oh, okay, that's a different place to live from. So that's why it took me a while. I was processing, well, what is that? Her question. And that's really what's emerging for me right now.
Beautiful. Maybe we'll go skiing together.
Yes, I will. You are welcome in Colorado. I have a place in Winter Park anytime, Jan. It's not that far of a drive.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Well, anybody else?
I can go, I guess. Man, we don't get snow around here in Illinois anymore. We used to have plenty of snow and I'd cross country ski all the time, and we haven't had snow to ski on in years, and I really miss it. I need to move to Santa Fe or Colorado or something. Someday I'll do that. Anyway, so this year is going to be interesting. My oldest son with my two granddaughters just is getting transferred to Georgia for his job. So it's going to be a big shift for me. Not being 15 minutes away from my grandgirls is going to be it's going to be hard. And from my son, we always knew that one of us needed something, and now he's going to be half a country away. So that's going to be a big transition. So one thing is, I guess, is alchemy, that shift. How do I transition into that? The other is just sit with what am I being called to do? Because like Kim said, that there's a lot of things calling to me, and it's coming from Hawaii, meeting many amazing people from Japan, and a lot of opportunities I think can open up there. I'm being encouraged to start teaching Qigong online. So I'm going to start doing that here probably at the beginning of the year. I've resisted that. So I need to move through that, whatever shadow is blocking me, which I know what it is. Part of it's, some people just being in person, you can touch somebody and show them where they might be not positioned right, and they could damage a knee or an ankle or hip because of that repetitive improper structure can cause problems. So I just got to figure out how to do that. Anyway, so then the other thing I think it's time for a relationship. It's been 4 years, and what I've been thinking is, if the end of my life, if the only relationship I've ever been in, I've only really been in one, it's like, I think it's time to start looking for a partner this year. So I think I'm ready. It's kind of scary.
Oh, lovely.
I start thinking about it, and then I'm like, yeah, and then I'm like, oh no. So anyway, I just gotta, which means I'm thinking in the right way. If it's scary, it's the right thing, right, Jan?
That's right. If it's scary, must be on the right track.
That's right.
I wasn't
So.
scared to ski at all. Ha ha.
I know, right? So like you said, it's all it's what we're thinking and believing. So
Yeah, I'll be an
Yeah.
alchemist around that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So anyway, that's my story.
nice.
Thanks for listening.
Let's see.
You know, Jan's strategic attraction planning helps to bring in
That's
partners.
right.
Might want to try that.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
notice we have a theme of relationships going here.
Yeah, absolutely. Did everybody go? I can't remember. Okay. All right. Well, Peter, did you share yours? I'm like, no. Okay, Peter, what's your 2024 alchemy? No, you said with your children, your daughter and
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
right. But what's interesting, I can, kind of a new addition that just happened this morning. I hadn't spoken with my brother in, whatever, 2 or 3 months, and he and his wife were moving to Santa Fe. So I didn't, I know he had I think a minor surgery, but so I didn't know what was going on, but he reached out this morning. So something's going on, Jan. Something's going on.
Right, we're moving some chi here.
So,
That's what we do.
so yeah, he wanted to get together, told me their new address here in Santa Fe, if that doesn't, yeah, blow your mind about, things just occurring. So, yeah. But thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, thank you guys. That was a fun conversation. Maybe give you some food for thought today or as we go into the holidays and the new year. And our next circle is the first Wednesday of the month, and that'll be January 3rd. So we will have all kind of alchemical things to report on, I'm sure, in that time period, since we have a lot going on with holidays, etc. And whatever you're doing and however you're spending your holidays, just know you are super loved, and this circle values your voice and your energy. So thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing with each of us, your heart, your soul, and let's keep going. Let's do some more in January. Okay. All right. What was the most valuable thing? Just one word, popcorn style, one word, most valuable thing, 1 or 2 words you got out of being here today.
Setting my intent.
That was not one word. Okay. Sharing. Thank you.
Transformation and relationships.
Mm. Thank you.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Thank you.
And I hope that I have to say this to you. I hope that Jan's invitation to go to Mark and Renee's event will be considered by you. I can see you being there and being a great asset and great learning for you. It's a beautiful event. I haven't been able to be there in person, but I've been there virtually. Any of you that would like to go, it's a beautiful event.
Yeah, Mark was apologetic. He couldn't be here today, but he'll be here in January. But you'll hear
Yeah,
more
I
about
went
it.
live last year. It is a good event if you're in that process of really wanting to launch or expand your business. I will not be there. I'll be in Santa Fe doing a women's retreat over that weekend that one of my dear friends is leading. So, but yeah, I don't know, David, for you, it might be a timely thing as you're looking at what you're doing out there in the world with all of your beautiful knowledge and wisdom.
Mhm.
It just sounds like you're expanding, well, everybody is expanding. That's what transformation is, right?
Well, all right, well, we'll just say enough for today. My word would probably be love, just feeling a lot of love and appreciation.
Yeah,
Oh.
many blessings.
Okay, have a great holiday. See you
Yep.
on
Happy
the
Love you all.
new year. Love you lots.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Lots
Bye.
Blessings.
of love. Bye.
Okay.